Thank you for sharing your evening with me. I'm JB Bryan, and this is JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm and the home of AfroEconomics. And tonight's topic is, what is your AfroEconomics IQ? I am going to make my greatest attempt to pull up the document, share it on the screen for those of you who hopefully most of you, because you registered ahead, you have the question. Look in your email right now for those of you who registered, and you will see that you actually have the questions for tonight's IQ quiz on what is your AfroEconomics IQ. And it's just about your financial fitness, things that we should be thinking about. And I'm not going to say that they're easy, because it really depends on where you are with all of these things. Like, how much money do you think that you should be spending? How much money, how often should you change and review your investments? And I'm so glad that I have multiple ways that I know how to access my stuff, because I'm going in and finding it in the back of the website, bear with me, it was there and then it left. Oh, because it was switched to pictures out of documents. So that's why I'm going to pull up this document, and then I'm going in here and I'm going to share the screen. And then you'll be able to see the same question. Yes, voila, it happened. I hope you didn't doubt me. It's happened. The AfroEconomics IQ quiz, can you see it? Tell me you can. The first question, what's the maximum amount that you should budget for your housing expenses, like your mortgage or rent and your utilities? What is the maximum amount of what percentage of your income, I should say, what percentage of your monthly income should you budget for your housing expenses? Somebody put in what they think the answer is. Like, what percentage do you think? And more importantly, what percentage are you doing? How much are you spending of your income on your monthly expenses? And I'm gonna keep going because I want you to have some time to think about that. So I'm gonna go back. So is it 30%? No, I don't even want you to have to really worry about it, because is it 30%, 10%, 50%, or 67%? The second question is, and I'm going to tell you the answer, so don't get stressed out if it's A, B, or C. Don't even try to take the test now, because some people already sent it in. And next week or on Monday, if it's a lady, on our Women's Night on Monday, I will announce the winner. And our members only on Friday morning, I'll announce the highest IQ so far. We're going to continue to work on this. I'm going to put it on the website so we can take it. So that a second question for your AfroEconomics financial IQ. How much should a healthy, non-smoking 50-year-old Black woman expect to pay for $500,000 of 20-year term life insurance? About how much do you think that will cost you? The third question, I'm going to come back and give you all the answers. Third question, and I'll share the screen with you again. That's what we'll do. I'll share with you. Some of you probably, I see some of y'all chatting, gave me the answer. I'm going to make sure next to your answer you put what question it was. And then you see the screen now. What's the most important factor for being successful as a fearless entrepreneur? Principle 6 of AfroEconomics. What's the most important factor for being a successful, fearless AfroEconomics entrepreneur? The fourth question, Which of the following is a smart way to reduce risk on your investments? The fifth question, what's the minimum percentage of your income you should try to invest? The minimum. Now, the first question is, what's the maximum amount of your budget like when you go out there and you're buying a house and you're getting an apartment, like what is the maximum amount that you should be taking out of your budget for those expenses? Like, because, we really didn't think about that. I don't know, when my first apartment, I was just like, as long as I have it, I would have given everything, probably was like, give everything. I was like, as long as I'm making it. And I basically have never had a salary job. I worked for 7 weeks for a bank as a credit analyst. And I was like, the whole time, those 7 weeks on a salary, trying to get my sales job out of there. Started graduate school, became a stockbroker, sales job, commission, never. So those of you all, when when we're working together, and you'll know, and I know y'all can say it's true, when you say you have a salary, and I tell you how I know that you never feel that it is that enough, but you all are really blessed. There's a whole bunch of people who do not have a salary. The fifth question. So what's the minimum percentage of that income that you should be investing? The sixth question. Under ordinary circumstances, how often should you rebalance the investments in your brokerage account? A seventh question. Which of the following does not hurt your credit score? Income, large number of credit cards, making minimum payments, applying for your store credit. I'm coming back. Number 8, student loan debt equals what percentage? Now, this is according to, studies. What percentage of the average Black man's first year income is going to pay school loan debt? Or school loan debt equals what percentage of the average Black man's first year income after school? Basically, how much debt are we going in for school? And what percentage of that is on average of your first year income? So like if you have 100,000 in income that you're going to make the first year out of college, which, doesn't happen sometimes, but not, on average, the average person coming out of college isn't making 100,000, but they might be in $100,000 worth of debt. So that means 100% of their income is going to, is their school loan debt. A ninth question. Over the past 60 years, what percentage of Black people have left a financial inheritance to their children? Now we're doing your AfroEconomics IQ, so I can ask you that. And which of the following is a component of the legacy principle? So from the top, we don't stop, we rock. Yeah, okay, I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to look at what you asked me. I'm all up on the screen because I don't have my glasses on. The allergies have been tripping. It's just been a day. Oh, y'all been like giving me some answers. How are you, Keith? How are you, Maurice? Y'all giving out LG style. Somebody's phone came up. Miss Cotman, how you doing? Y'all are participating. Also, I want to do a shout out to my participants on the telephone, the person who logged in straight as a number, the Andersons. Good to see y'all again. Yes. Where have you been? Andrea, thank you. Mr. Bozeman, thank you for calling to make sure that I hadn't lost my mind and put 9 o'clock. I need you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. Yes, indeed, because y'all got to keep an eye on me. Barbara, that's indeed Demetrius. Yes, and how are you, Trey? And Ms. Walton, thank you for your lovely card. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Ms. Walton. I got it, and I've just been so busy, and I just thank God for you logging in so that I can acknowledge that I appreciate your kind words. I am so thankful. It just feels horrible when someone does something so nice for me And I don't even get the time. I just thank God for just giving me this opportunity to stop and say, thank you, Ms. Walton. Hi, Evelyn. Jenny Jones. How are the Haydens? Dr. A. Mr. Burris. Yes, Dr. A. Yes. Ms. Davis. Thank you so much for logging in. Yes, indeed. Ms. Douglas, look, me and you, we got to get together. Mr. Lewis, thank you. I know it's late. I'm playing around, but I just had to say hey to everybody. Hey, everybody in Facebook world, learn to come over to the webinar world. All right, let's do these. Let's go. I'm going back and I'm gonna give you these answers. All right, here we go. And I'm going to do a good job of this, and I'm going to make it really make sense to you. So what is the maximum amount of your income that should be going to just your living and housing? 30%. 30% of your monthly income max. So you make $1,000 a month, your rent should be $300, and that's including your utilities. I mean, you know, we're just saying that. But that's a good rule of thumb. I know it's not work, but that's where you should be shooting for, you know, because that increase your income. You don't have to lower your standard of living. Increase your income. You know, you get that up to $2,000 a month, you're looking at $600. But you know, I really don't think that we're living by that guideline. I would say the average person probably making $2,000 a month knows they can't find a place to live at $600, including utilities. So it's like, right, you know, we're doing the best we can, but that's what I want us to shoot for. I want us to constantly be working on increasing our income, constantly. The second question is about on your IQ test, your AfroEconomics IQ test, let me clarify, is about insurance. Just to introduce you to how affordable life insurance can be. Now, of course, we're talking about term, so it's kind of misleading because you might be looking or comparing this $60 a month on average for a 50-year-old female for a $500,000 for a 20-year term policy, around $60 a month. Granted, she's not smoking and she's healthy. No, everything, you know, that adds to that fee. Even if it's permanent insurance, it's going to be considerably more. But what impacts, like that's why that 10th principle of Afroeconomics is so important. What really impacts that what we're paying is, you know, our health. Your life insurance can be twice as much just from being overweight. Oh my goodness, 3 times as much from smoking. Don't have a DUI. Oh my goodness. You might not even be able to get a policy if you have a DUI on your record. You know, they've done all these algorithms and they've figured out that, you know, if you're taking those type of chances, then you're reducing your mortality. No, so I mean, it's amazing. But so we have to be aware that our lifestyle habits and how expensive that they can be, you know, that and the healthier that we are and taking out the time to maintain our health and keep our health, you know, can save us a lot of money, a lot. You can keep your money in your pocket. So that's the second question is $60 a month on average. That's the cost of the term life insurance for the 50-year-old Black woman. And then, of course, our race is not supposed to be considered at all, would be a problem. So for I was looking at my document. My daughter's music came up. Did I tell y'all my child did a solo tonight? I'm really excited. She did a great job. That cello was humming. So that third question is about the third question on your quiz is, what's the most important factor for being a successful, fearless entrepreneur as I describe? You know, and I believe, and according to the chapter in the book on entrepreneurship, that your personal, letter C, your personal commitment to success makes the biggest difference in our success as entrepreneurs and as professionals. You know, so let's go to number 4. So what is a smart way to reduce your risk in investments? There's a whole bunch of ways. But what I want you to get out of, here is what I've talked to you about is diversification, but taking diversification to its highest level of asset allocation and how you maximize the use of all of the asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate, cash, your asset allocation. So it would be B, investing across multiple asset classes and sectors is a way to reduce your risk in your investments. So now the next question, number 5, is what's the minimum percentage that you should be saving in your investments? And then of course you can only do what you can do, but I encourage you to do at least 10%. I believe that those are things that would be number C, the minimum percentage of your income that I encourage you to invest from an AfroEconomics perspective is at least 10%. It's one thing that we can't afford not to do is we cannot afford to live beyond and all the way up to our means. We have to live below our means so that we can save that 10% and reaching really for that 20%. And it hurts. Y'all, I'm right there with y'all. It hurts. The 6th question, but once we do it, it's like you adjust. Once you start doing 10%, the next thing you know, it's nothing. Then you're like, oh, okay, I could save more because you adjust your living to what you take home. So under ordinary circumstances, how often should you rebalance? And what I really should say is how often should you consider rebalancing? And that would be annually, but you actually, we're having our quarterly meetings, right? So, if we had a quarter where stocks just really flew up and you really only wanted to have 50% of your portfolio in stocks, and if stocks flew up and all of a sudden we're mid-year and stocks represent 70% of your portfolio, well, we might rebalance mid-year. But you might say, oh no, the market is doing well. I don't want to rebalance at all. Rebalancing is when we have a particular setup of, say, 50% stocks, 40% bonds, and then you want 10% available in cash for purchasing. Then you are, and it switches. So that's your balance at the beginning, and it switches because just say bonds start doing really well, and your position in bonds, when we look at it as a percentage, it goes from 40 to all of a sudden it's 50%, and then you might want to rebalance and will sell off and purchase some of the sector that's not doing as well, while the prices in that sector are lower. But that's something for us to talk about, and that's why we have our quarterly and annual meetings. So but as a member of AfroEconomics, it's very important to me that you make sure that we do quarterly. So which of the following does not hurt your credit score? What doesn't hurt your credit score? Seems like everything, right? But it's A, low income does not hurt your credit score. Nope. Just because you don't have a lot of money doesn't mean that you have to have a low credit score. You just have to do the right thing with that money, and you can have you can have an 850 credit score and have low income if you're paying all of your bills on time. Right? That's totally something to think about, right? Y'all are doing it. Look at you, Mr. Postman. You said you put them all in there. It will send me this when I finish. It will send the notes out, and I will see. I will see. It's unrealistic to live like that, though. LOL. You would have to be in a horrible neighborhood. Oh, that's with the 30%, right? Well, I told you, this is LG style. Next time you log in, I want your name. Talking about unrealistic. What if you made, $10,000 a month and it was 30%, $3,000 on housing? That's not bad. So, I say that we focus on increasing our income so that we can have our living expenses within that 30%. No more than, I'm gonna stick with it. But I understand. But with it being so high, then, if it's at 60% of your income is going to your living expenses, then we need to know that you need to get your income up higher. You don't necessarily have to move out of the neighborhood just to increase that income, right? Oh, hey, Kay. LG said it's Kay, but I'm driving. So look, good for you. You stop talking to me. You drive, you be safe. Indeed. Thank you for saying hi, Ms. Davis. So then I'm going to go back, and let's pray that I go back to where I was. Oh, the student loan one. This is crazy. It's crazy, y'all. 89%. This is Value Penguin. Average student loan debt. #race. Yes, indeed. But look, it's even worse. 89% of that Black man's, the college graduate's first year income is, so if he's coming out making $50,000, his school loans on average are 89% of that $50,000. And then for women, for Black women, 111% of their first year income is their school loan, their student loan debt is 111% of their first year income, meaning we could be coming out making even less. It could have the same debt, or we could have more debt and making the same income as the Black man. But we know that when I did the wage gap, that there is a gap, that Black women do make less income than Black men. Black women make less money than men. And that you will find a Black female college graduate making less than a high school graduate Black man. And so we need to be aware of the challenges, men and women. 89% of your income for Black men, your debt being 89% of your first year's income, that's still a challenge. So you have to take all of your income, not even pay your taxes, right? All of your income. But the woman with the 111 being on average, then she would have to just work. She had to give all of her first year and go into her second year in order to pay the debt off. So school loan debt is no joke. Let me go back to the question. So I hope that you get that I'm sure none of you got that. Nobody should get that right. 89%. Oh my goodness. So over the past 60 years, what percentage of Black people have left a financial inheritance to their children? I'm gonna stop. And I just want to know, what do y'all think? Is it enough? And I'm looking right. Is it 1%, 7%, 16%, or 22%? What you say? Who's gonna tell me? 1%, 7%, 22%. Keith said 1. Ms. Cobbin said 7. Maurice says 7. Mr. Bozeman said 7. Yes, it is 7%. But y'all know that that is bad. No, you know that's bad. We got to look. We got to. Over the past 60 years, what percentage of Black people have left a financial inheritance to their children? I'm going to see you in the morning, God willing, Ms. Cotman. 7%. 7%. And the last question, which of the following is a component of the legacy principle, speaking of passing on an inheritance, of the legacy principle, the first principle of AfroEconomics? The first principle, and it's all of them: creating an estate plan, defining your personal vision, mission, and purpose statements, leading by example to pass the right values, mindset, and habits to the next generation. Left, 7% left a financial inheritance to their children. OMG. That's why AfroEconomics is here. That's why we need this, y'all. God is so good. It's real. You know, this is real. Y'all are making a difference by participating. This increases it in your consciousness. You know, I mean, you take it for granted. You don't think that you're a statistical anomaly, but you are. You know, what you're doing is making a huge, huge difference. Well, I'll talk to y'all. I'm gonna get out. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your time tonight. I'm JB Bryan, JB at jbbryan.com. If you have any questions, it was 89%. Yes, indeed. It's over. If you missed the answers, just email me. Oh, yes. Mr. Berry, the test is in your reminder email. Your test, the test is in the reminder email, and I will send it out again. I'll send it out, you know, again. You know what I'll do? Everybody that registered for tonight in the webinar, I will send everybody that registered tonight, I will figure out how to circle the answer on the IQ test that we did tonight, and then I'll send you that. Yeah, so tomorrow's going to be a busy day, but I'll get that to you. Good night, Mr. Burris. Good night, good night, good night. Let me get back to my Jackson 5. God bless y'all. Good night. Good night, Andrew.